This is the Outdoor Journey Show, where life takes you outdoors. The Outdoor Journey Show with Matt Gaddis and Ty Morgan, brought to you by Journey Hunts and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
Welcome back to the Outdoor Journey Show. Matt Gaddis and Ty Morgan here with you, and we're talking about hunting into the West. And now we're going to take it into some of the key things that are important about hunting into the West.
Absolutely. You know, Ty, we have the privilege of having Cody Nelson, who's the managing partner of the Outdoorsman's Gear for the Western Hunter, on the phone with us right now. Cody, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Cody, I know, from using your products and from being involved with your company and your organization for the last couple of years, you guys specialize in all kinds of gear that really helps the hunter have success in hunting the West. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about the gear that you offer? And if you get a chance, let's talk in particularly about those tripods, because they're quite special.
Well, absolutely. I really appreciate the opportunity to showcase some of our gear. And the gear specifically, our shop's been in Arizona here for 32 years. Even as a little kid, I always knew what the Outdoorsman's was. And growing up, you kind of migrate to the guys who are experts and know about Western hunting, and Floyd Green and Chris Denham and the guys basically kind of led the path in creating top-notch gear for guys that want to hunt Western style. And when I say Western style, I mean putting your optics on a tripod and for steady scene and less eye strain on the eyes, and you can see a whole lot more game from a tripod than you can from hand holding. So the history of the Outdoorsman's has always been to try to create gear that will enable guys to be more successul with their Western style hunting. So we have tripods, we have tripod heads, we specialize in heads that or connections for your binoculars and your spotting scopes that will allow you to mount them up to a tripod, and that's the basis of what we do. It's big country, and you need big glass to look a long ways, and then make your route to your stock and try to be successful at it.
Absolutely. I mean, you're touching on why that tripod is essential to someone hunting the West. What is it that really separates your tripod from all the other tripods that are out there? Give us some of the factors that really make it special.
Well, there's three. When we teach seminars and we do things that put us in the public eye and allow us to, even on our sales floor, there's three things that we talk about that allow us to basically that differentiates the Western style of hunting from maybe say an Eastern style, close quarters, heavy wooded areas. And then the first thing is that we always talk about buying the best glass you can buy, and sometimes that means maybe you're buying a $100 pair of binoculars and you're going to upgrade to a $300 pair. I don't care what the upgrade is. I try to put the best optics possible in your hands to help your eyes in terms of eye strain and focus, and the less wear and tear you can put on your eyes, the better. The second thing we talk about is put your optics on a tripod, and that is I can't tell you how many conversations and how many people I meet across the country, and when we do all the shows, that they want to put their spotting scope on a tripod, but they've never even thought about putting their binoculars on a tripod. And I always ask them, and I always make the offer, I'll buy you lunch if you can come out and glass with us, and you hand-holding and me on a tripod, I guarantee the fact that we'll find more game.
Indeed.
And I've yet to lose that bet, by the way.
I
and so
believe
the third thing is that we talk about, when you put your optics on a tripod, you got to slow down. So when you do those three things, I guarantee that you will be more successful, maybe not in terms of harvesting animals, but in terms of finding animals. Absolutely, you will be absolutely more successful that way.
Well, I believe that to be true, and that's great teaching for all of our listeners. I know one of the optics you guys sell Vortex Optics as one of several lines that you sell, and Vortex is a great sponsor for Journey Hunts. What optic would you suggest to somebody who's not really limited financially from Vortex?
It kind of depends on on what a guy's doing, and I kind of say optics a lot of the times are kind of like a golfer's golf bag. Sometimes you got to have the right club for the right, yardage, and getting the ball to the hole, right? Well, sometimes I think that you look at optics as the same way. So if I were to tell a guy, I always have 8-power binoculars around my chest.
Okay.
And I always have either a 12 or a 15 in my backpack. So, you could always go for a 10-power on your chest and a 15 in your pack, and then I always carry a spotting scope. So what I would tell a guy is that, the Vortex line, they've done a phenomenal job of creating opportunity for people to upgrade binoculars from the lower level, but are still quality, still have a lifetime warranty, all the way up through the Viper line, which is your mid-level, and then on to your Razor line, with Vortex, and you literally are getting to what we call that, you're kind of pushing the ceiling on, some of the best glass in the world.
Awesome. That's great. Now, let me ask you this. You talked about an 8-power and a 12 or 15-power. Do you work both of those off of the tripod? You know what? In certain given situations, absolutely. Most people would be shocked at the game they can find off a tripod with an 8-power. And again, this is another proven, field-tested, tried and true lesson. If you put 8s on a tripod, you will find a lot more game than if you were hand-holding. Okay. So in other words, most of the Vortex line that you speak of and Swarovski and all of those certain kinds of binoculars that have a 1/4-20 screw in the front of their main hinge, we make a stud that allows you to hook up to a bino adapter, which will allow you to slip it into a tripod. And so, you asked me earlier about setting ourselves apart and what we do different, and I think that's the one main goal that we do, is that we create lightweight tripods for hunters, that we've taken all of the necessary weight out and left what we like to call good weight. And good weight, what I mean is that it's still heavy enough to keep your optics steady, and it's still rigid enough to keep your optics steady, but it's not so heavy and not such a big footprint in your backpack. Sounds like definitely a well thought through product. Well, no, I mean, there's we do a lot of different things. We even have for binoculars that don't have screws in the front to mount up. We actually have ring adapters that go around the outside ring. The objective lens. There's all kinds of different ways to mount stuff up. So. And certainly Outdoorsman's has, over the years and along with, a lot of people invested a lot of time and money and thought process into how our tripods will allow you to mount binoculars or a spotting scope to a rig and be more successful finding game. Right. And your tripod, I also saw online that you offer several different types of your tripod. And by types, a low, a medium, a high. I forget the exact names, but tell us a little bit about the differences. Yeah, we actually we have 4 different models. We have a short, which is really designed and meant for the horse and mules and packing, long trips, 10-day trips, and where guys where weight and size are absolutely crucial. And then we jump up to what we call a medium tripod. And the medium is pretty much the middle of the road, hits all facets. You can't stand with it, but it's certainly lightweight enough and really takes a lot of overall footprint space out of your backpack. And then we have 2 other sizes. One's a compact medium, which actually is about 5 inches shorter than the medium, and it has 2 leg extensions, which allows you basically to get the same height, but at a much reduced footprint in the backpack. And then we also have a tall, which will allow a guy to stand, and it's a little bit bigger footprint, lengthwise. But I think you keep hearing me kind of repeat the same. We're trying to mitigate or lessen the overall footprint in your backpack. And the first time that we came out with a compact medium, I was talking to a guy from British Columbia, and the first words out of his mouth were,
when I backpack, that'll give me 2 extra mountain houses. And I mean, so that's
true.
what guys equate things to. When they can shrink those things up and it's still a usable, viable piece of gear, they make room for it, but it also creates room for something else.
Makes a lot of sense. Well thought through. Cody, how do people find your tripod and your other great products? Because that's not by any means the only great product that you offer.
Oh, yeah. You would go to outdoorsmans.com. And then the other way that, we do a lot of advertising in Western Hunter Magazine, Elk Hunter Magazine, and we also do some advertising in the Hunt and Fool magazine. But the best way for sure is outdoorsmans.com.
Perfect. Any other products that you want to highlight? We have a couple seconds here. Any other products that you want to highlight?
One of the things that I would tell people to look into is our Optics Hunter packs. We have a line of packs that are, created by hunters for hunters. We have a lifetime guarantee on the frame, and we have a pack which we have created to be extremely versatile. There are different packs that you can put on the frame. It's a 6,000 cubic inch, what we like to call the most versatile day pack on the planet. And when I say that, it allows you to carry all your day gear, but still allows you to carry the first load of meat off the mountain without having to go back and take a pack back and get a pack frame and go back. Absolutely,
and I've used that pack on many a trip, and it's an absolutely wonderful pack.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. We keep selling more and more every year, and we just keep getting more and more feedback, and of how much people really, really appreciate the. It's basically, it carries like an internal in terms of comfort and stability and balance, but yet it carries like an external frame in terms of how much weight you can carry.
Yeah, and it is a great system. And like you said, one of the things that I love is that you don't have to have a different pack to be packing out. You can make it all work in one trip. It's wonderful.
Exactly.
Wonderful stuff. Well, we've been talking to Cody Nelson, managing partner of the Outdoorsman's, which has great gear for the Western hunter. Cody, thank you for coming on to the show, and looking forward to hearing from our listeners as they try your products.
Guys, I'll do it anytime. I appreciate the opportunity, and I wish you guys the best of luck in your hunting this season.
All right. Well, thanks for being on with us again. And, of course, thanks for being a part of the Outdoor Journey Show, where life takes you outdoors.
This is the Outdoor Journey Show, where life takes you outdoors.